to another episode of Fiddly Things. We have the founder of Fiddly Things, Jo Farello, joining us today as usual. Hey, Jo.
Hi, Katrina. How are you?
Good, good. And today's episode is about customer service. So, Jo, let's get started with you, and then I'll chime in with my 30 years experience and see if together we can sort out some new, just demystify customer service a little bit.
Sounds great. Katrina, to me, customer service is forming a friendship with a customer so that they don't feel like they're an invoice or product number. They are valuable to me. I want to have a one-on-one name conversation with them when I'm discussing their products. I know that that is how I like it when I speak to someone. They're not treating me as just another person on the end of the line. So customer service is really about servicing the customer so that they want to continue engaging with me in my business. And that's really important to me.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, once you've got a customer, the chances of that customer actually coming to you is like 1,000,000 to 1. So it's really interesting to me how much business goes out the door in current customers. Whereas it costs about, 2 or 3 times more to get a new customer than it does to keep a customer. So how about if we look at everyone's business and really look to see how can we keep the customer long term? What's the lifetime worth of that customer? And then invest accordingly in maintaining that.
Totally agree. And it's the connection that you have with them. They could go to any product or service provider to get what they're after. But if the correct connection is made with that person, they feel like they're connected with you and your product, that if they have questions, if they have any problems, that you're there to address it and not just push them to the side. There's nothing worse than engaging with a company, using their service or their product. Something's not quite right, or you have a query and you off on that labyrinth of phones, numbers, people, no return calls. So the personable touch is what I like. If someone has a query, they contact me, I talk with them and find out what it is they need or want of that product or service, and then deliver it for them.
Yeah, I think the old adage, the customer is always right, is I think we're a bit more sophisticated than that now. The view I take is let's educate our customers. So if the customer rings up with a problem, a concern, an issue, absolutely listening skills is the first thing. Listen,
totally.
Really listen. And I like to say things like, and is there anything else? And is there anything else? And is there anything else I need to know? And that way the customer empties out. So what you want to do psychologically is have them empty out so that they feel heard. If you're constantly interrupting and defending, what will happen is the customer will never feel heard. So allow them to empty out and just keep asking, is there anything else I need to know? Anything else, anything else? And then they'll say there's nothing else. That means they've emptied out. Now they've been heard. Now you've got the bigger picture. And now start to work out a solution to that problem. And don't feel you need to knee-jerk an instant result, instant response. If it's an easy one, fix it. Absolutely, go fix that. And tell them that you're going to do it straight away. There's no mucking around, and that you will advise them that you've done it. So send them some sort of email to say, that is now fixed up. I've now sent that over to you. I've now changed that in the database, or whatever you have to do. Do it. Quick and easy, done, dusted, and let them know in writing that it's done. But if it's a little bit more complex and you have to do some investigation, what I recommend is you say to them, leave it with me, and then ask for, say, 48 hours. And 48 hours is going to give you that buffer so that you can do a full investigation and really explore what's gone on here. But it's great for your business because you're able to explore what's gone on and plug up that hole with a permanent solution. so that it doesn't occur again. If you've got a business where you've got the same shit happening over and over and over again, then you've got a real customer service issue. A problem is fantastic, and you always say, thank you, because now you've got something to fix. And as a business owner, you want to be fixing things all the time, plugging up all the little holes. So yeah, just give yourself that buffer. Don't feel you have to respond immediately, and just ask them for 48 hours and that you'll come back to them. And then you'll be able to explain how it happened, what you've done to fix it so that it doesn't occur again for them or anybody else. And people will feel reasonably satisfied that at least they got heard, at least there was some action, and at least there was some follow-up. And if you're covering off those three things, I think reasonable people will be reasonably forgiving, especially if you've got a relationship like you're talking about, Jo.
Yeah.
That relationship,
I totally agree,
will hold you in good stead, especially when the shit hits the fan. A relationship's fine until something goes wrong, and then you'll soon see whether you've got a relationship or not. Friendships and good relations means that you can often get away with a lot more. People are a lot more forgiving if they feel connected to you and your business. But if they are not, and they don't have a relationship with you, then obviously when things go bad, they really want to attack you and rip you a new one.
Yeah, totally. That's very true. And it's just keeping the connection of communication, feeding back when someone, like you said, empties out and gives you everything that they feel is wrong or the issue that they've got. I like to hear it, ask the questions, keep open questions, and then feed back to them so that they know they've been heard and understood. They're not just feeling like you're like, yep, okay, whatever. It's you're actually taking it on board, you're feeding it back, and the time frame, 48 hours, is a great idea, because you can then give them a window where they are expecting to hear back from you, even with the follow-up to it, if not a resolution to the concern. But at least you're keeping them in the loop of what's going on.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Look for those complaints and those issues are fantastic. So, really make sure that you say thank you. Thank you for letting me know, because quite frankly, customers, and I'm a bit like this, I don't complain. I'm not a complainer. What I do is I just never go back. And so you'll never know my piece of information. You'll never know what the upset was. You'll never know. So apparently the statistic is 75% of people will never tell you. They just won't come back. And so when somebody actually does complain, it's in the smaller minority. So that's why you say, oh my God, thank you so much for letting me know, because now you can actually do something about it. If it's in your blind spot, then it's going to just stay there. Whereas they are bringing it out of the dark into the light. And you really need to say thank you for that, because not everybody's that brave. Most people just ignore it, go away and say, I don't want to deal with them anymore. That's awful.
Yeah, and it could be something that's quite easily resolved. You're right, the awareness. If I'm not aware that there's a gap, then how do I close the gap? So by them being brave and letting you know, you can close the gap and ensure that the next party doesn't experience that as well.
Yeah, and so the ones that do complain are always branded the troublemakers and the awful people, but actually they're the great people for business. They really are. They're really great. They're brave, they're outspoken, and they want to be heard. And it's our job to fix it. And if it's unfixable, and most things are not really unfixable, I find in my 30-year career, everything's fixable. Yeah. And so,
I agree.
Yeah, just look for those opportunities to learn and grow. And please get your ego out of the way. It's just feedback. It's not personal. They're trying to help you be better. So I think
that's right. If you want a good business, the feedback is gold, because even if they feedback and say it's fantastic, great, feedback and say it could have been better, then that gives you the window to look at what could be better, to keep you abreast of your competition, the market, and the ever-changing, whether it's systems, processes, or the product or service itself. So feedback is gold.
Feedback is gold. So customer service is about relationships, it's about listening, and it's about problem solving, and it's about providing solutions so that the customer has a journey with you, has a customer experience with you, hopefully that lasts a long time and goes beyond one purchase. You really want customers coming back. So you want to look at maintaining your customer base year on year and building on that base rather than constantly losing customers and having to chase new ones constantly. Really switch that to 80-20. I would be focusing 80% of your time on maintaining your current accounts and 20% on chasing new business. And if you did that, you can work a lot less hard than you do creating new relationships. And obviously,
very much so.
You want to grow your business, so attracting new customers is also very much important. But if you've got lots of great customers, then really look at what can you do to maintain them and keep them coming back. Is it introducing a new product? Is it introducing a new service? Is it introducing another level of your offering? That, you know, some people in the service industry, they might come in as a new client, then you might move them into a membership kind of client, then you might move them into a masterclass, a mastermind group kind of thing, you know, and the tiers are endless of what you can do with a customer to add more and more value to their experience with you. But customer service, gosh, just think about it. It's 1,000,000 to 1 that person landed in your business. Treat it like the honour that it is.
Exactly right. And the personable touch. I like when I'm engaged in a service or a product website and they ask, when is your birthday? So on your birthday, you might get an offer. You get 10% off on the next program or the next product or service as a gift from us to you for your birthday. It's a little thing, but it makes you feel like you're part of that business rather than just another name on a list. So the personable touch is nice.
Yeah, there's some wonderful products out there now where you can sign up to be part of their members, and then you can send cards and postcards in the snail mail. And I think the snail mail now has a really high perceived value. It's really special. Everything's so digital now, so it's lost that personal touch. So sending real cards and real thank you notes and real postcards, just letting them know that you're thinking of them is always lovely. I'm very into, and I know the millennials are into, anything old school. And so have a look at some of those card sending services so that you can bring that in as part of your brand values and your brand experience. The personal touch is wonderful. So birthdays, yes, that's a great idea. What else could we do to sort of make you feel part of the community?
Well, again, you were saying that you can have the master classes, different levels within. So if you become part of a business and then you have an offering that we've got a new product or service coming out or a new training, anything that you're on the ground level or you're in part of my database now, you're a valued client to me. So as a valued client, I offer you this. And there's always an offer thrown in if you have a new service, product or training or anything that it could be of interest to this person, could be cross-selling ultimately that you're driving at. But at the end of it, the person feels like I'm in with your group, I'm an original client with you, and I now get, wow, everyone else pays that, I get this. So it's allowing them to feel like they're part of the family of your business, whatever that service or product might be.
Yeah, so I've come from a sales background. So in sales, we always divide customers up into sort of, let's keep it simple for today, A, B, and C, even D clients. And the A customer is kind of like your super fans. The A customer gives you 80% of your revenue from 20% of your customers. Just think about that for a second, because your mind has to get its head around that. 80% of your revenue is coming from 20% of your clients. And they are your A customers. They're the ones that you should be designing some sort of VIP program around to suit your business and suit your offering. So how about we set some homework, Jo, for our listeners to think about what could they do to create a VIP experience for their A customers that are delivering 80% of their revenue. And then what we can do after that's been created, and they're more than welcome to call you and sit down with you, and we'll show them the way to sort of build that VIP program. That's absolutely fine. But A customers need to be looked after, and they need to be looked after in a certain special way. But you also, before we leave this episode, I want to talk about over-servicing.
Good point.
Yeah. Now, sometimes people go crazy with customer service, but they don't understand their position in the customer's world. So say, for instance, I drive into McDonald's, I order my coffee, and I pay for my coffee. I get my coffee. It is what I expected. The order is correct. I drive off. I enjoy that. And yes, I'll be back. That is all that's required from McDonald's. Just for that system, for that experience from A to B to just deliver. I don't need them asking me, can they wash my car? Or would you like anything more with that? Can I give you two
hair?
The price of one? I don't need anything extra. I just want my coffee through drive-through. Now, if I wanted some other coffee and I wanted to stand in line and I wanted to wait, then I'd go and have that experience, but I'm not. The experience I want from McDonald's is fast and drive-through. I don't expect it to be the best coffee, but I expect it to be fast and I expect it to be drive-through, and I expect that experience to be seamless. I don't want to be asked anything. I don't want to be dealing with anything extra. I just want my coffee and I just want to go, and I want it to be right, the order to be right. Now, with McDonald's lately, what's been happening is only 80% of the time is the order correct.
Oh, okay.
So I've probably spent about $5,000 with McDonald's in a year on coffee. Now, I've stopped doing that through COVID.
Yeah, of course.
So that's now I've sort of in the habit of not having it, and it doesn't bother me. And so they've lost $5,000 a year from me just because I couldn't rely on them just to deliver.
Mm.
Now I'm paying $5 up to sort of, it's almost $5.79, nearly $6. Let's just round it up to $6 these days for a coffee. You want to get that right. And I don't, just so customer service, my point is the customer service, we're not talking about VIP treatment about everything. You've got to look at your price point. You've got to look at what people are expecting and the customer expectation and just deliver that. I tell you what, if half the time we just got delivered what we wanted, we'd be through. Yeah, that would be a major breakthrough, but the majority of the time it's not. It's just not. Very rarely do I walk away going, wow, that was a really good customer experience. Very rarely. When it happens, I am beside myself because it just is so rare. So guys, can you just deliver on the expectation? We're not asking for you to over-service a $6 purchase or over-service on a sandwich or something like that. Once you get up into the luxury market, yes, they have to go into a different stratosphere on customer service and VIP programs and feeling a part of the brand and packaging, and everything has to be perfect up at that end. But for the majority of us, if we just delivered on the promise and the expectation, you'd be doing way better than most businesses. And even McDonald's today, I don't think, has it right anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never had a coffee from McDonald's, so I'm not sure of that experience, but that's really interesting. It's good. It would be good for you to give feedback to them on that so that they can look at that and figure out where have I, aside from the COVID, but where have we gone wrong in delivering what we've promised and have previously delivered to you.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's a good example.
we always used to ring them up and say our coffees are wrong, and they'd say fine.
Oh.
That's one good thing about McDonald's is you don't have to fight them on the mistake. They always accept responsibility. They put our name down for free coffees, but you know, and I always go down and get my free coffee that they owe me because they got the last experience wrong. To me, I'm already tucked up in my office. I've already got the disappointment of the coffee not being right.
Yeah.
And my, you know, the experience is already a dud. So that's the taste in my mouth. So whether you're going to give me a free makeup coffee or not, how about we get it right in the first place? Wouldn't that be awesome? How hard is it to create a product and be able to make the product that you're promising? If you can't do it, McDonald's, then don't offer coffees. If you can't take an order properly, then don't offer, you know, don't be in business. The thing is, they have a system. The system has been tried and tested, and they're still getting it wrong. So why is that happening? Staff are not looking at the order, so they're not looking at their computer, and they're not reading that. So it's actually human error. It's not the machines. It's just staff that do not care to look at the order and really concentrate on making what is required. They just accidentally gave me the wrong one, or they've put this in there, or they've stirred it with sugar on the spoon. Yeah. I mean, it's endless how much you can stuff up somebody's coffee. It's endless. And
considering what you're paying for the coffee too, it's not like you're doing a $2 coffee where you think, well, you get what you pay for. I mean, you're paying a good rate for your coffee. That's expensive coffee, and it should be how you've ordered it. And that would be the dynamic you'd need to look at within. Are we training our staff, you're right, to address the orders correctly? Have your processes in place so you don't have sugar on the spoon if someone is not desirous of having sugar. So that's an important point that you then need to look at within your company. Is your training manual, your processes and procedures in place working? And clearly they're not.
Yeah, totally. And look, this is, as you can be as passionate about your customer as the CEO as you like. But if your staff don't care, then that's the customer service level that they're delivering. And so that's scary to me. And so part of what I do as a business consultant is we go in and we look at the staff morale, the staff motivation. We look at, are they the right people doing the right job? Because some people are not suited to certain human interactions. And customer service is quite often human interaction, whether that's on the phone or face-to-face or however other ways you do it. But it doesn't matter. The attitude and the need to want to help has to be there. And if you've got staff that are ruining your brand, you may as well go and pour your money in the drain.
That's true.
Because you are losing customers hand over fist and you don't even know. And so really get down there and see what can you do to make sure your staff, of course, are inducted into your way of doing things in the first place. But prior to that, hire to the attitude. You can always train the rest in.
Yeah.
And then monitor them to see how are they going with the delivery of that, and notice if there's any tweaks that needs to be made, because nobody wakes up in the morning going, oh, I can't wait to ruin your business. I can't wait to piss off. I can't wait to make a fool of myself and not know what I'm doing. People are not purposely waking up with that in mind. They all genuinely want to do a good job, but are they? That's the thing. Are they? And is that on you as the owner? What's going on with your customer service, and have you handed your business over to customer service people that will never, ever deliver properly to your client? And that's where I think McDonald's is at.
Yeah, and you're probably totally spot on there, because really CEO level to the person delivering the product is, if you want them to be aligned with you, it has to come from within, the trainings, the processes, the attitude, and how you deliver to your customer. And I know when I worked in a gym, we had to answer the phone saying, "Good morning, having a great day at Fitness World. How can I direct your call? Or how can I help you today?" It was always to start off the call with the client answering it, saying, "I'm having a great day, I'm here to help you," rather than Fitness World. A customer straight away hearing that is not engaged with you. If you are responsive and cheerful and open, the person will be like, "Oh, great. Hi, Joe. Yeah, I'd like to inquire about joining the gym." They're more engaged with you immediately. They can hang up and go to another gym. So it is, the staff need to be aligned with the CEO, and exactly how you wish to see the vision of your company needs to be reflected in your frontline people.
Yeah, it needs to be genuine and authentic. Nothing worse than giving staff a script and saying, "There you go, say this," but the magic is not behind it. I mean, I can say, "Good morning, having a great day, how can I direct your call?" but not with the right magic, the right chutzpah behind it, the right energy behind it. So you may as well hire to people that can even deliver that with authenticity and genuineness. Gone are the days where we can fake stuff. We can't fake stuff anymore. These days people expect authentic, and they expect real and genuine, and the way you answer your phone is a direct reflection on where your business is at. And if you don't care, why should your customers? And if you have no energy or passion about your business and the role that you have, then why should the customer? So yeah, really looking at what you want them to say and how you want them to say it, but seeing, is that a genuine reflection that they feel in their hearts? Because if they don't feel it in their hearts, the customer won't get. Words are a small percentage of what people get. It's the energy behind it. And so, yeah, at the gym, you always hire these perky, enthusiastic go-getters because you want that excitement. And the minute they burn out and they're over it and they're sick of it and they hate you is the time to get rid of them, because it's affecting your brand. And that's, most people don't. They keep these people on who are over it. I reckon every day you should engage your staff and ask them genuinely on a Richter scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? And if they
where's your head at?
if they're at a 2 about your company and about your products and a service and your management and whatever, then their engagement is so low they can't function. Send them home on a sick day, because they'll do more damage if they stay at a 2. What you want to have is more of a sustainable sort of approach. So we don't need people coming in at a level 10, because that won't be sustained. They will go start at a 10 because they're excited about their new job, and then they'll go and sit at a 9 for a while. Then they'll pop down to about an 8 as they've settled in for the long haul. And you want to maintain staff around a 7 or an 8 out of 10 enthusiasm. Yes. You'll never, it's unrealistic to think they're going to be a 10 forever. That's just not possible. There is a cycle to customer service levels, and there's cycles to staff engagement levels. And so you want to monitor that. You want to work out what's realistic here for these guys to be enthusiastic and passionate about what they're doing. Is it 2 years? Is it 4 years? Now, if you can get 4 years out of somebody at a 7 or an 8 out of 10, you're doing bloody well, like you are in the top echelons of the world. Most people these days have got about, if they're lucky, have got a window of about 2 years. So what you want to do with staff is you want to look to see how do you manage them, how do you lead them so that they deliver on the customer service levels that you need and want. Around a 7 or an 8 on the long haul. And what do you need to do? So your next piece of homework is to work out a staff engagement strategy. And so, yeah, so we can help you with that as well. But think about a staff engagement strategy over a 2-year period would be ideal. Anyone that goes beyond that has either got one of 2 problems. One is they're staying because they've got nowhere else to go, or they are staying because they are genuinely engaged and they really, really love what they're doing, and they love how you manage them, and they love the product and the service. And quite often one of the big engagement strategies is a best friend at work. So you'll often hear staff say, I'm here for the people.
True. And I think a lot of internal training in companies as well motivates people and brings that joy and excitement back into them. Just giving simple updates, training, letting them know what's happening with the company. So I find from my experiences, when you feel part of the team, you're aware of how the business is traveling. There's cross-training into different things. Would anyone like to learn a bit more about such and such? And that brings excitement back in and can really keep you engaged in a business, because you feel like you're part of the driving force, not just someone turning up, clocking in, clocking out, picking up a paycheck. So engagement within can really keep people excited within their business.
And delivering on really superb customer service.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. Staff, you don't want staff happy for no reason. You want staff happy because they are a direct link to your customers. They are the front line. They are representing your brand, and it's just everything. So back to Fiddly Things. Fiddly Things, what you want to do is make sure that your systems and your processes are up to scratch. So it's helping your staff do a good job, not hindering your staff to do a good job. You want your systems and your processes enhancing the customer experience, not a clunky, terrible thing to deal with. And so what we want to do is look at your systems and make sure that we've tracked what's going on, where things are stopping and starting, where are the bottlenecks, how all that works, and really seeing what can we do to streamline it and make it easier for the customer to buy. And that's what it's about. Fiddly Things is here to make sure that the customer service side of your business is absolutely as smooth as a baby's bottom.
Yeah, and declutter what might be knotty and messy at the moment. Find a smooth way to just get your processes in place, so the seamless interaction from the beginning of a client's contact with you through to the end when they receive their product or service is smooth, seamless, easy, and everybody's happy at the end of it. Declutter, take out the mess and clean it up.
Absolutely.
We can do that for you.
Yeah. And so the best way to do that, guys, is to go and pretend you're a customer and go and buy stuff from your website, go and ring up about and make an inquiry, go to your website and see how easy it is to find things, and just have a customer experience yourself so that you know how hard or how easy it is.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, people want to know that things are easy. Nobody wants anything to be hard. Life is hard enough without trying to buy something off you. And you're making it hard for me, or you're making me jump through hoops that are unnecessary. Yes. So yeah, I hope you got lots of tips out of today. I think we've given 3 bits of homework, haven't we? We've done, what's the first piece of homework? Was to go and have a look at...
have a look at your customer experience. Find out whether there's anything clunky, I think is the main point. Come in and find out how your customer connects with you, whether it's an easy process for them to engage with you, whether they're recognised or whether they're not, which is very important to the customer.
Yes.
What was your other piece of homework you said?
So the first bit of homework is go and create a VIP program and send it our way and let us have our 2 cents worth. The second piece of homework is to go and have a look at a staff engagement strategy and see what you can do to engage your staff for longer and keep them in your business and get a better return on investment for their time with you. And the third piece is go and have your own customer experience in your own company and see whether it's awful or whether it's fantastic. And if it is, let us know how we might be able to support you and improve on those 3 strategies: customer experience, VIP program, and staff engagement. We're happy to deal with your fiddly things.
Fantastic. Thank you, Katrina. That's great. And thanks for clarifying, because I think everybody needs to have a really good look inside and just see what your own mechanics are like through your systems. And then you can literally work out how to clear it up, get it moving smoothly and efficiently.
Yeah. I hope you've enjoyed that episode. We'll see you next time. Bye, Joe.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.